Now to the Sean Diddy Combs case. We may learn this week if he will be released on bond while he awaits sentencing. His lawyers filed a request asking the judge to release Combs on $50 million bond. Combs was convicted earlier this month on charges of transportation to engage in prostitution, and he was acquitted of more serious charges of sex trafficking and racketeering conspiracy. The government is expected to respond by this Thursday. Combs' sentencing is scheduled for October.
As you can see, guys, Diddy is about to get out. And that is after he tried to post bond for $1 million and him denying that bond, saying that he would be a flight risk and other things. But the things are getting a little bit more crazy because not only has he applied for bond and they have denied him twice, now Trump is getting involved. So that's what we're going to be jumping into today. Why that's going on. And if you haven't been seeing it, I know you guys have seen my earlier videos and we kind of skipped the trial period because I was out of the country for the Diddy trial. But now that I'm back, we are back covering it. So let's get into the content.
The Breakfast Club.
Y'all finished or y'all done?
There's an exclusive report via Deadline that President Trump is now seriously considering pardoning Sean Diddy Combs ahead of his sentencing.
Anything to get these Epstein headlines out the news, huh?
This ain't gonna last for too long. Epstein will be right back in a second. Basically, according to this report, they have these sources that they do not reveal. But according to these sources, they're
See, and that's the biggest problem that a lot of people are seeing, that they try to keep putting Diddy up as a scapegoat to distract people from what's going on with the Epstein files. And obviously people have had their eyes on the right things.
There are serious and heavy conversations happening right now in response to Diddy's sentencing or the awaiting for Diddy's sentencing. Now, this report says that they've reached out to Diddy's attorneys, his lead attorneys, including Mark Agnifilio, who had no comment on this. But according to this report, several associates of the much accused and currently incarcerated Sean Diddy Combs have been pitching the White House. Other insiders confirmed that the topic has leveled up from just another Trump weave into an actionable event. So you know how people be like, oh, he's just doing that for the headlines or to distract, to something that he is seriously after the finding of Diddy being partially guilty.
Now, when Diddy first got convicted, if you guys have been watching my content from the very beginning, you know that I said that Trump was going to pardon him. And now we're in the days where it's about to happen. A lot of people were like in the comments, no, I don't believe it. It's no point for Trump to pardon him. But they were very close friends. Trump has been pardoning people he don't even really know. So why wouldn't he pardon a friend? We are living in a world where favors are being made visible to us, okay? And a lot of y'all are like, oh, no, it won't happen. Don't be delusional. Never say never.
In his NYC sex trafficking trial earlier this month. Now, y'all remember Trump was asked about this, and he said, he said he basically had to see all the details and see how things like played out.
He wanted to make sure they were treating Diddy fair. He said, I think something like that.
Now things have been played out, and we're here. I mean, the sentencing hasn't happened, and I think right now, of course, what people are waiting on is what will the sentencing be. But I do think that this is, I could see this being a thing. For sure.
President Donald Trump is very social media savvy, and he knows that nobody moves the needle more on social media than black people. Okay, black Twitter amplifies everything, and that's why so many things he's been flooding the zone with this week have been about black people. I'm going to arrest Barack Obama. Beyonce, Kamala Harris, Al Sharpton need to be investigated. Now, let me throw out there that I'm thinking about pardoning Diddy. Maybe this will push these Epstein headlines out of the news. Maybe this will push out, these headlines about Ghislaine Maxwell offering to testify before Congress on Jeffrey Epstein if she is pardoned.
Hey, yo, he said
They speaking facts. I actually like the Breakfast Club.
Beyonce, he got to investigate Beyonce.
Yes.
Yeah, because of some money.
They're saying that Kamala Harris gave $11 million to perform and endorse her.
It was Beyonce, Oprah, and Al Sharpton he called up.
Yeah, he dropped the whole BET list.
But what Trump doesn't realize is his base, those MAGA supporters, the people who voted for Trump, it's more of them than it is black Twitter. And those are the people who won't stop talking about the Epstein files. Those are the people who are going to keep calling out the obvious cover up. So trying to change the temperature with black people, that's not going to work.
Well, hold on. I'm going to stop him right there. I don't think there's the MAGA supporters, but I think that the people that look like MAGA supporters are definitely more worried about the Epstein files, because we in the brown community, we already know, look, they was dirty. He done did it. I don't think that brown folks, I'll just say that. We don't really need to see all the gruesome details. That's something on over there at the MAGA side.
And at this rate, by Friday, Trump gonna be offering black people reparations.
He better.
I guarantee he's gonna be like, you know what black people need? Reparations.
Now
If he do
that-
I got a couple trillion right now that I guarantee you that's by at this rate by Friday, he gonna be saying
But
that.
what I don't understand, if he's allegedly all over them Epstein files, right? Why would he stand on, when I get in office, I'm going to release them? I don't understand why. Like, why he would go so hard if he's all over them.
That's the
To
point.
win, right? I mean, like to.
That's the point.
Because
I
that
think
was the
it's
whole
a-
point, right? For him to win.
I think but also too, I think it's just more of like,
Winning
if
what?
you say
He's
that,
already
then people are like,
president.
oh, it must not be much on there, because why would he want it to come out? Why would he be okay with it? And then we back off. But
This was during his campaign, right?
Listen, the only reason that I knew that Donald Trump was going to pardon him beforehand was if it got too dirty with what they was trying to say with the ex-trafficking and stuff like that, and it tied back to him, there would have been a lot of issues. But you see that they chose to cut a lot of things in that case. And that's why I feel like the Diddy case was definitely all smoke and mirrors, but let's let them rock.
Yeah, no, to vote for him because that's what's right.
Yeah,
So
I'm
gonna
adding
vote
in
for him
addition to
because
you.
he cares about what's right. Right.
But it was more so his people around him. He never really stood on it. Like when they asked him when he declassified, he said, "Yeah, but not so much as other things because there's a lot of lies that could be in the files." Basically, is what he said on Fox and Friends.
But did he release any of the files that he said? What about the alien files that he said he was going to release? And
He released MLK, I think some of JFK. I ain't seen nothing about no aliens.
remember, because he said the aliens, he said JFK, he said Martin Luther King, he said he was a whole bunch of files he was supposed to release.
He did. I remember him going heavy on the aliens.
By the way, that's another black person he did. So it wasn't just
What, the
Barack.
aliens?
I thought the aliens black.
Shut up. It wasn't just Barack.
The aliens got a face.
He said Barack should be arrested. Beyonce, Al Sharpton, and Oprah need to be investigated, and then they threw out the MLK files. That's all of this to try to
Yeah,
distract black people.
know.
You know y'all so silly.
Yeah, you know
Well,
they're trying to distract you.
look,
If that's
listen,
the narrative.
First of all, if they drop reparations on Friday, Epstein is definitely back of the bus. Like, people not going to really want to talk about
You
that.
gonna fall for it, even though it's an obvious trick.
Dad, say
I don't
yes,
think-
tell the
Go
truth.
kick
Yes,
the
you
ball,
are.
Charlie Brown.
I don't
Go
think
kick the ball, Charlie
I don't
Brown.
think that anything
Kick
that
the
he
ball, go kick the
says
ball,
is
Charlie Brown.
actually going to
Okay,
happen,
then.
especially
So-
when it comes to reparations. But to your
Stop.
point,
Stop.
if he drops that on Friday, I promise you nobody's going to be talking about Epstein.
That's silly.
At least
Then
for
y'all- then-
at least
then
until
y'all just-
Monday.
Then y'all just as silly as he think y'all is.
Well,
Niggas.
also happening.
With the hard age.
What else you got? What else you got?
No, I just was going to mention. So we've been talking a lot about like the sentencing and what will happen October 3rd. So today, as I'm told, there's going to be a filing that's going to be happening. There were certain filings and letters to be submitted before Prosecutor Comey was fired. That the judge said, "Hey, I want both sides to have a conversation about what sentencing should look like."
And so if you don't know, one of the prosecutors was fired, and I think that there was an argument with one of his actual defense attorneys as well. But this situation just keeps getting more and more heated every single day, it seems.
Based on laws that we've seen prior to people who've been arrested and jailed and blah, blah, blah. I'm told today there will be something filed there on both sides, a conversation about like what the sentencing guideline would be, but also something in relation to bail as well too, because that's been a conversation. It's $50 million bail package that Diddy just submitted yesterday. So we'll see what that filing will be, and we'll get more into it. But from what I'm told, it'll address a lot of questions that people have about what bail should or shouldn't look like, and what sentencing should or shouldn't look like. And I told y'all I think that this is something. All this being stirred up and expedited a bit because Comey was fired, but I don't have it exact, but I'm on to something here, I think.
Okay. All right.
And listen, that man called up here and requested Black Men
We gonna play it.
United.
We got it.
Will know. And you going to play that because that's one of
gonna
my
play it.
favorite songs ever.
got it.
There's not too many songs that make me as happy as this record right here. This is one of the greatest songs ever recorded.
We gonna play
If
it.
Trump
Okay.
played that on Friday, would you be distracted?
Leave me alone. Black Men United, We Will Know is playing next.
We're going to play that
Okay.
on, all right? So the latest with
Please
Lauren.
let it
Thank you,
play
Lauren.
Okay, you guys, so that is our episode for today. If you feel like Diddy is about to make it out and get out clean, let me know down in those comments. I've been saying that Trump was going to pardon him. I don't know about them reparations, but if he does start handing out checks, believe people will be cashing in. And as always, my good people, live as long as you want, never want as long as you live, and always squeeze the best juice out of life. Peace.